Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. All cruelty springs from weakness. Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, and by rulers as useful. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You'll be able to use them better when you're older. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. It is not that we have so little time, but that we lose so much. The life we receive is not short, but we make it so. We are not ill provided, but use what we have wastefully. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them. He who is brave is free. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. No man was ever wise by chance. They lose the day in expectation of the night, and the night in fear of the dawn. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. The sun also shines on the wicked. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Leisure without books is death and burial of a man alive. Often a very old man has no other proof of his long life than his age. A sword never kills anybody. It is a tool in the killer's hand. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer. Life is long if you know how to use it. We learn not in the school, but in life. It is not the man who has too little that is poor, but the one who hankers after more. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. There is no genius without a touch of madness. Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart. But life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. While we wait for life, life passes. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. I am not born for one corner. The whole world is my native land. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. It does not matter how many books you have, but how good the books are, which you have. It is difficult to bring people to goodness with lessons, but it is easy to do so by example. It's not because things are difficult that we dare not venture. It's because we dare not venture that they are difficult. He who spares the wicked injures the good. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. You should live in such a way that there is nothing which you could not as easily tell your enemy as keep to yourself. He who has injured thee was either stronger or weaker than thee. If weaker, spare him. If stronger, spare thyself. The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable. Nothing, to my way of thinking, is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. The part of life we really live is small, for all the rest of existence is not life, but merely time. To win true freedom, you must be a slave to philosophy. Of this one thing, make sure against your dying day that your faults die before you do. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. There is no enjoying the possession of anything valuable unless one has someone to share it with. True happiness is to understand our duties toward God and man, to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is abundantly sufficient. No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity. To be always fortunate and to pass through life with a soul that has never known sorrow is to be ignorant of one half of nature. If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according what others think, you will never be rich. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power.